With tyres being the most important modification on any car, I've now turned up to Pro Tyre here in Exeter with the Mach 1. Now, if you watched my last video, you'd have known that I ran over a screw and I got it fixed temporarily. And they did actually highlight that it's not something you should keep on your vehicle and you should get a new tyre put on as fast as possible. So we've come here, thanks to my friend Craig, to get 4 new tyres put on the car. Now the question is, what tyres are we going for? But more importantly, we've got a wobble on the vehicle and I want to find out exactly why. So guys, I've just seen the tyres out back and they are so big. Now bear in mind, I've come from fast Fords as well, the Mark II Focus ST, the Mark III Focus RS. I have never seen these wheels off the car, except for in the last video where we actually got a screw in it. Now, when we show you them in a minute, you'll realise just how big they are. And obviously that is for a good reason, because it's a high-powered car, rear-wheel drive, American muscle. Right guys, so this is worth mentioning, and I said to you earlier and in previous videos that I worry about when these guys take the tyres off my wheels. But rest assured, Craig, what is this? What's that called?
It's a rim protector.
A rim protector. Guys, I know it's really noisy, but that's their preventative maintenance to make sure that they look after the standard of our alloy wheels. So I'm feeling much better about it now, knowing that. So how cool is this? While this gentleman is taking the wheels off the Mach 1, I've just got a notification on my Apple Watch saying the tyre pressure monitoring system has detected one or more tyres is actually effectively not working very well. So that's because the sensors are being adjusted and taken off the car. So as a result, my watch has given me a little warning. Now, while the boys are actually over there fitting the tyres to the alloys, I want to show you something. So this car has just come in on a 10-plate Volkswagen Polo, and as you can see, the alloy is severely broken, and as a result, this is what's called a snake bite puncture. And as you can see, it's now affected the tyre, and that is why it has come in completely flat. So it just goes to show why it's not just important to pay attention to your tyres, it's also important to pay attention to the condition of your alloys, but more importantly, just make sure that in general, it's all working properly, because you've got to understand that this is quite literally the only thing between yourself and the road when you're sat in that car. So it's very important to pay attention to, but I'm just so glad that I was actually able to show you in person just how bad this one was. Now guys, I've been a big fan of Pro Tyre ever since I started my poxy little YouTube career, and having a Mach 1 on here is definitely doing something to me, because I remember the days that I used to bring in a Volkswagen Lupo, a Renault Twingo, a Fiesta ST 150, to those of you that didn't know I had one of those, and all the cars I've had up until now. But it's just such a blessing to have got to a point where I've got a car like this, and also a Mark II Focus ST that I'm heavily in love with, despite the fact that it's about to have all of its paint taken off tomorrow. So stay tuned for that episode, but for now, I'm going to pretend that I'm not still worried about those alloy wheels, even though I know that I'll be absolutely fine. Right guys, I've never actually been asked this before, but they're giving me a preference as to which one I would like to put on my car. So I would go with black. What are you saying? I think black works, do you think? Wheel weights? Black? Perfect. Okay. Cheers. Finally, 4 tyres are now on the Mustang. As you can see, we have now got Michelin PS4Ss all the way around. So a big shout out to James Dimmock, all the way from Michelin themselves. It took about 36 hours to have these delivered, so I'm so blessed. Amazing job. But yeah, the Mustang is now equipped for not only fast road driving, track day driving if we wanted to, but these are a fantastic all-round tyre that work, now it's winter and it's wet, and there are obviously wet leaves and water all over the road, but also they will work perfectly when it comes to the summer months as well. Now who knows, we may change the tyres before then, we don't know, but guys, I'm so blessed. So a big shout out to James Dimmock from Michelin. These are a fantastic set of tyres for any car, let alone a high performance American muscle Mach 1. Give it a rev. Sweet. They've done it. When getting tyres fitted to any car, tyre alignment is so important once you've had that done. Now, while we're here at Pro Tyre, they actually use what's called a Hunter tyre alignment system. And in the car community, it's well renowned as being one of the best systems that you can get. So Craig, out of interest, talk to me about this machine. What is it?
It's a wheel alignment machine.
Okay, so these have rubber protectors on them, don't they?
Yep, just obviously stops any sort of damage to the face of the wheels. Just got a rubber trim that sits over the face of it just to stop it from marking any wheels.
Alloys, yeah. Nice. Right. Now, I was blissfully unaware as to quite how much detail goes into one of these alignments. Toe adjustment, camber adjustment, and there's so many more things that we've got to do today, but as you can see, this system is definitely worth implementing in your car.
Just sort of slide yourself in there, just make sure that steering wheel's nice and straight.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
No worries, jump out, bud.
The horse is pointing in the right direction. So Craig's asked us to come over here, guys, so he can give us a rundown on what's going on with the vehicle. So Craig, I'll leave it to you.
Okay, so we've got the rear wheel alignment. Okay. This is called toe.
Yeah.
Easiest way to sort of figure it out is if you look down at your feet, and if you point your toes outwards, that's toeing out. And if you point your toes inwards, that's toeing in. Yeah. So your passenger rear is just toeing out very, very slightly. So these are the specifications, but you've got an overall figure of where it needs to be. Yeah. So you'll find if we bring that one into the middle where it should be, this one's going to come in nice and green as well. Nice one. All right, so I'll try and get both of these as straight as I can. And then we've got the front tracking. Oh, wow. So you'll find, or I don't know if when you're driving straight, maybe the steering wheel's slightly off centre.
No, so it tramlines a lot.
Yeah.
So it pulls me into quite often the centre line.
Yep. So again, you've got your driver's side, which is toeing out. Yep. And your passenger side, which is toeing in. So when you're driving straight, your wheels are going that way. So
I did say to the viewers that it's very important to get an alignment system done, and obviously Hunter is widely known as being one of the best. Yep. How much would it cost Joe Bloggs to come in and get alignment done?
Again, the wheel alignment itself is a free check. We only charge if we need to make any adjustments. Okay. It's quite a simple adjustment to make. So, for example, this today is going to cost £80. Okay. So it's just like £40 an end. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, guys, it's an £80 charge on top of ultimately your tyre cost. So just bear that in mind, but understand that it is incredibly vital and very, very worth your time. Just by bringing that one into the middle, it's brought everything in green on the back.
So we've now found out that we don't actually have camber adjustment because that is on the track package that we don't yet have. Camber adjustment plates are an upgrade, it turns out. So it's all done now, and it's now roadworthy, safe, and going to not wear down my tyres unnecessarily.
So like I said, just bringing this one in sort of central where it needed to be. Just brought your total toe angle in. Okay. And should drive like a Mustang now. Yeah. What, really badly and crash into trees? Great. But no, honestly, mate, I'm so grateful. Nice. I think we should pull the car out, get it in the centre, and we should talk about some myths that I think we could bust, seeing as you know your stuff all about tyres. So guys, you have finally seen that we have now replaced the tyre repair that I had on the other side of the car. Now, it was of course paramount that I got that done as soon as possible, as being an American muscle car with 480 horsepower, it makes it all the more important to make sure that I got it repaired. Now, I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail in a second, but I'm going to be using the manager here at Pro Tyre, my friend Craig, to break down some myths about tyres, because in the car scene, there's a lot of hearsay, and if you spend any time on Facebook groups, you would have had an even harder time trying to
to work out who's actually talking sense. Now, Craig, on that exact point, I would love to know, before we break down these myths, what is your opinion on the PS4Ss in general?
Again, for the supercar market, there's not sort of much better on. So.
Are you calling it supercar?
Yeah, well, it's in that bracket. It's in that bracket. So, yeah,
now,
there's not much better.
You mentioned to me earlier that there was a 3-letter phrase that you use within ProTyre to talk about tyre safety.
So we use the word ACT, which stands for air, condition and tread.
Now, on the back of that, my grandmother, when I was younger, used to tell me to walk around the car and do a visual check on the tyres every single time, as it was the most important thing in terms of road safety. Now, guys, on the back of my tyre repair that you saw in the video of me going to Ben Fowler's house for the Road to Success podcast, the team at that tyre place actually told me that it was a temporary stopgap to have the repair done on the wheel, being a high-performance car, and that I shouldn't have it for any longer than around 400 to 500 miles. Now, when I told you that earlier, you agreed, but you said something else. Now, what was that?
Yeah, so the puncture repairs themselves, actually, if they're done properly, will outlast the life of the tyre.
That's on a normal vehicle?
On most vehicles.
Okay.
That said, the high performance stuff, you might be just a temporary stopgap just until you can get a tyre replaced. But 99 times out of 100, if it's done properly, it'll outlast the life of the tyre.
Now, following that, guys, I didn't know that, so I do apologise for stating it if I did incorrectly in the previous video. But I'm going to say, as GCM, surrounding my energy all around road safety, if you've got a high-powered car, guys, it's just not worth taking the risk. After all, if you can afford a car like this, then you can probably afford a new tyre. Now, just finishing up, there was one thing that we mentioned earlier regarding tyre safety as a whole, and I want to talk to you about your opinion of the most important modification or upgrade for any vehicle on the road.
It's tyres.
Yeah?
You know, they are the most important thing. It's the only thing that keeps you on the road. So they need to be checked, maintained properly. So
this is what me and Owen say a lot to the viewers, and I'm really glad that you're clarifying that as well. I mean, I appreciate that you work here, and it could otherwise be deemed as bias, but at the same time, you know, we've spoken off camera, and everyone that I talk to about it understands that those tyres are so important. Think of it, you know, whether you're taking your girlfriend out in the car, whether you're going to work, whether you're taking your child around, it's so important to stay safe on the roads, guys, and I'm so glad that you guys, as a team, ProTyre, have allowed us to come here and get these amazing tyres fitted to my Mach 1. So, Craig, thank you so much. Guys, there will be so much more coming with ProTyre and the relationship with myself and the team here. But more importantly, guys, if you've enjoyed this video and you've got any questions, let us know in the comment section below. Like the video if you found any value. Big shout out to the team, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next video where we are going to be doing the first stages of the respray on my Mark II Focus ST. Yes, you heard me right. I've still got the car, and we're going to be going and taking all the paint off that car. I can't wait. But guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
And for the privilege of having all our mug shots on film today.